You can see the objectives of this video on your screen. At the end of this video, you will be able to describe HANA architecture. You will be able to explain evolution of HANA and what is S4 HANA. You will be able to describe features of S4 HANA, explain the concept of simple finance and simple logistics, then architecture of S4 HANA, features of S4 HANA, and different terms used in S4 HANA. So now you will learn about architecture of HANA. This is a high-level overview of HANA architecture. Here you can see the main component of architecture is HANA database. And then on top of that you can see different front-end applications. And here you can see HANA Studio, BW Studio, different BO products and other clients. Then on left hand side you can see HANA support. That means you can get connected to any SAP support site, that is for example SAP marketplace site, for keeping your software updated. In HANA database there is an engine called software update manager which helps you to keep your software updated, and through this engine you can get connected to SAP support site and make sure that you have a updated version of the software. On the right hand side you can see data replication techniques. As you know, one of the feature of HANA is you can get connected to any other database and replicate the data from any other database in HANA. So obviously you need different replication techniques. So SAP has come up with different replication techniques. One more important part you can see over here is R client and R system. R client is nothing but you can work with R language on top of HANA. What is R language? R language is the language which is used by different scientists all over the world for doing the complex analytics on top of their data. So you can work with R language on top of HANA, and for that you need to get connected to R system. R system, that means a server for R language. So now you will see the details of each part. Here you have the details of HANA database, that is a relational database, we call it as RDBMS, and SAP says that HANA database is a strong database, or you can say it has a very good backup and recovery options. It supports SQL standards and it also ensures ACID principles, which is applicable generally for any database. The next part is HANA Studio. HANA Studio is very important for ABAPers because going forward now, whatever development you will be doing for ABAP on HANA, that you will be doing in HANA Studio. You will be using HANA Studio as a front end instead of GUI. So this is one important front end for ABAPers also. Apart from doing the developments, you can also do the system monitoring. You can set the system parameters, or you can also do the configurations through HANA Studio. So base system can also work with HANA Studio. One more part is HANA client interface, which supports ODBC and JDBC connectivity. You can also get connected to MDX, and which also support HTTP services. The next part is HANA functional libraries, which are based on C++, and in these functional libraries you will get a set of business functional libraries. You can also get predictive analysis libraries. So these are set of libraries which can be used for doing the further analytics on top of your data. Then you have different replication techniques. One of the most important replication technique is SLT, that is SAP Landscape Transformation. This is a tool which can be used for replicating the data at real time from any SAP system to HANA, and it is a trigger based tool. Apart from that, you have different tools like SAP BODS or Sybase replication servers and all those. Then you have data preparation, which supports moving the data from Excel sheet to HANA database, and you can also copy the data from any other UI into HANA database. So this is a data preparation that you can have, basically moving the data or migrating the data from any flat file to HANA database. And you have one more important tool, that is lifecycle management tool, which is used on top of HANA for configuring HANA database, for installation of HANA database as well as for using transport management. So this is also one of the important tool which is used generally by base system. Now here you will see the detailed architecture of HANA database. Here you will see what are the parts inside HANA database. So here you can see there are 4 servers. You can see index, preprocessor, static and name. These are servers, and within those servers you can see some bulleted points. So those bulleted points are nothing but engines. So servers are nothing but hardware parts, and these bulleted points are engines. Engines are nothing but the software which runs on particular hardware part. So in HANA database, the most important server is an index server, because all the important engines are part of this index server. So you can see over here column store engine, row store engine, SQL, stored procedure, or planning engine, MDX engine, calculation engine. All these important engines are part of index server. So this is one of the important servers in HANA database. The next server is a preprocessor server. This server is majorly used for text analysis. So the engines required for text analysis are part of this server. The next server is a statistics server, which is used for monitoring HANA database, collecting the data related to the system, and this is generally used by base system. The next server is a name server, which will give you the topology of HANA database. That means which software component is running on which hardware part. These details will be useful, and these details you can get through name server. And the fifth part is a access engine. You can see over here, access engine is nothing but it is a extended application service. So this is nothing but actual application layer. Obviously it will help you to access through HTTP, and you can see in this architecture these 4 servers are part of HANA database, and you can see this access engine, that means application server, is also built in this HANA database. So you can see the architecture over here, which is a combination of database plus application layer. So this is the architecture of latest version of HANA, wherein we call it as HANA platform, which is a combination of database plus application layer. So it is not just a database, but it is a HANA platform, which is a combination of database plus application layer. This architecture is used for S4 HANA. So this combination is called as HANA platform. Now you will see how HANA has evolved as a product and what is S4 HANA. So SAP came up with the first version of HANA as an in-memory database platform in 2011. In 2012, SAP came up with the concept of BW on top of HANA, or BW powered by HANA, wherein it was possible to have real-time analytics on top of BW on HANA. Then in 2013, SAP came up with the concept of Business Suite powered by HANA. This is nothing but ERP on top of HANA, wherein it was possible to have real-time analytics, and it was a combination of OLAP plus OLTP. So Business Suite on HANA was nothing but all ERP modules, that is all ECC modules on top of HANA, wherein the T codes were same, the system tables were same, the performance was increased to some extent, but not as expected for some modules like FICO and logistics. So that is why in 2014 SAP came up with the concept of simple finance and simple logistics on top of HANA to increase the performance of finance and logistics modules. You will learn about simple finance and simple logistics in next slide. And then finally in 2015 SAP came up with the concept of S4 HANA, that was a totally new product. So this is how HANA has evolved since last few years. However, you can see this journey of 4-5 years over here. However, SAP has started actually working on this concept of HANA since 2002, and Since last 9 to 10 years, SAP has worked on it, and then finally in 2011 they were able to launch their first version of HANA. With S4 HANA, why it is S4 HANA? Because it is a 4th generation product, and these are the 4, you can say, features of HANA, S4 HANA, that is simplified data model, new user experience, advanced processing, and choice of deployment. Simplified data model, that means the data structure is simplified in S4 HANA. That means the table structure in S4 HANA is completely different than ECC. It is a new user experience, so the front end is also changed with Fiori and UI5. Advanced processing, you have all the advanced features. It can be also used on mobile application, as a mobile application. And choice of deployments means you can have it as a on-premise or cloud or as a hybrid model also. So this is a 4th generation product, and this S4 HANA, as you have learned in previous slide also, it is nothing but combination of database layer plus application layer. So it is a HANA platform. The T codes are changed, the table structure is changed. It is a complete change in S4 HANA. So obviously, as a ABAPer, if you are going to work on S4 HANA, there will be a huge change for ABAPers. You can see over here different versions of HANA database. Previously, it was version 1.0 SPS 0. And then the latest version is HANA 2.0 with SPS 04. The operating system is Linux as of now. And here you can see now the versions of S4 HANA. The first version of S4 HANA was released in 2015 and in the month of November. So the first version is 15.11. The next version was released in 2016, month was 10, so the next version is 16.10. Similarly, the next version was 17.09, then 18.09, and as of now the latest version is 19.09. So these are the different versions of S4 HANA. So now the question is, what is simple finance and simple logistics? So in order to enhance the performance of finance and logistics, or maybe overall ERP on top of HANA, SAP came up with the concept of simple finance and simple logistics. Initially, they introduced this concept as simple finance and simple logistics. However, later on, this concept is renamed as S4 finance and S4 logistics. So what is there in simple finance and simple logistics is basically the table structure is completely changed in finance and logistics. So what is the change in the table structure? The first change is there are no pool or cluster tables on top of HANA. All tables are transparent tables. Why all tables are transparent? Because since HANA has the capacity to handle huge amount of data at a very high speed, you can store all the data now directly in transparent tables. You don't need any pool or cluster table. No aggregate table. In one of the previous video, you have learned what is aggregate table and why you don't need any aggregate tables on top of HANA, because HANA has the capacity to do the calculations or aggregations on the fly even with huge amount of data, and that is why there is no need of aggregate tables. And there are no index tables, because generally index tables are related to pool or cluster tables. Since pool or cluster tables are removed, obviously you don't need any corresponding index tables. So as a result of this, the table structure is very simplified. You just have mainly header and line item table, and apart from that, couple of additional tables to store the data. So the table structure is quite simplified, and so you can see in S4 HANA the table structure is completely changed compared to ECC. So this concept is applied in finance module. Simplified table structure in finance module, that is nothing but simple finance, that is nothing but S4 finance now. Same logic is applied for logistics, that means for SD and MM module also. So the table structure is now simplified for SD and MM module also, which was called as simple logistics. The same concept is now called as S4 logistics. So the old table names are also completely changed. Now you can see, for example, instead of BSEC table, you can have ACDOCA, that is ACDOCA table in finance table. So the table structure and table names are also completely changed. So to get the actual benefit of S4HANA as a ABAPer, you will have to ensure that you know the tables and new fields in S4HANA. Now you can see what is the architecture of S4HANA. As discussed some time back, now HANA is not just a database, it is a platform which is a combination of database layer plus application layer. So in this HANA platform, you can see the database, underlying database, on top of which you create or you use different code push down objects like core data services or AMDPs that you are going to learn in next videos. And then on top of that, the third layer you can see as an application layer, wherein you can send the output of this to different front-end applications. It may be Fiori, it may be any other application like BI, BO, or any other application. So this is the overall architecture of S4HANA. And here you can see different features of S4HANA. The first feature is it is a simple data model. That is what we have discussed, that the data structure is completely changed, and now you have mostly header data and header table and line item table. So the table structure is completely changed and it is simplified. Another feature of S4HANA is modern user experience. So you can use Fiori as a front end for S4HANA, through which the business user experience is completely changed, and you can also use new innovative applications through S4HANA. Innovative business solutions, SAP has also come up with the concept of SAP Leonardo, which you will learn in next video, wherein you can also have IoT, a combination of IoT, machine learning, blockchain. All these new technologies are combined under this umbrella of Leonardo, which can be used on top of S4HANA. You also have a choice of deployment, whether to use S4HANA as on-premise or cloud or a hybrid model. And it's a non-disruptive journey in the sense that if any business is using ECC today and they want to move to S4HANA, SAP says that the table structure on S4HANA is quite different than ECC. So SAP has given a non-disruptive journey. That means they have given a way out how you can convert your ECC data into S4HANA new tables without losing any data. So there is a backward compatibility that SAP has already given to ensure that the business will not lose any existing data. So that is the idea of non-disruptive journey. That means without disturbing the existing business, without disturbing the existing data, you can still move from ECC to S4HANA. So there are some terms that we use with S4HANA. One is business suite on HANA. We call it as SOH, suite on HANA. That is in which case this is the version which SAP introduced in 2013, wherein it is ECC on top of HANA, wherein the table structure is same as existing ECC. So that is suite on HANA. Another concept is HANA Live, which was introduced with suite on HANA, in which you can get built-in standard reports based on suite on HANA. So SAP came up with the concept of built-in views. They came up with a concept of standard views which are created by SAP on top of SOH, that is business suite on HANA, for reporting purpose. So HANA Live is a, you can say, a separate component in which SAP has given us different standard views to create different types of reports, or which will help us for generating different types of reports. Then there is a tool called Web IDE, which is actually a front end for Fiori development, UI5 development, or any HANA development. So that is important. This is also used for SAP, that is SAP Cloud Platform. So if you want to do the development for any of these in any of these areas, you can use Web IDE as a front end for that. You also have a Web IDE for full stack development. Then there is one more term, HANA Express, which is nothing but a free version for students. They also have different versions like standard platform or enterprise version for corporate, and this was introduced with database editions of 1610. And one more important concept that SAP has introduced is SAP Leonardo. It is an umbrella term for all these advanced technologies, which includes big data, IoT, machine learning, AI, analytics, blockchains, design thinking, etc. So SAP Leonardo is an umbrella term for all these advanced technologies, which can be used on top of S4HANA. And SAP has also introduced new APIs for consuming these different advanced technologies. So all these APIs are available on this SAP site, api.sap.com. So this is how you can learn S4HANA. You can get some more information related to S4HANA even on internet and Google. If you need any more details of S4HANA, you can also contact Elkem SMEs.